me time to sleep.
No. I have my rights to watch TV.
While I deal with her, thank you for coming back for the part 2. Enjoy watching and don't forget to subscribe.
After finishing dinner, a sense of calm and normalcy filled Velvet's small home. As she quietly cleaned up the tableware, Gloomy and Bagani watched her every move, as if studying her routine. She moved efficiently, making sure everything was spotless, and the space felt more comfortable again. Once she was done, Velvet looked around, expecting to see Gloomy and Bagani nearby. But when she turned, they were gone.
Where are they?
Her eyes scanning the room. Panic began to rise in her chest. Did they just leave me? Why would they do that? The question swirled in her mind, and she could feel her control slipping. Heart pounding, Velvet silently opened the window and stepped out onto the balcony. To her relief, she found the two of them outside, whispering quietly. Without saying a word, she rushed over and pulled them both into a hug. She held them tightly, her hands trembling slightly as she felt her emotions catching up to her. Both Gloomy and Bagani noticed her face had lost some color, worry spreading between them. They gently guided her back inside.
Sorry, Master.
Where did you both go?
I told Gloomy to come with me to search for magic stones, Master.
Why would you do that?
Master, we saw how much you love this place. Bagani said there's a way to protect a small portion of land, to keep it safe. We thought that if we could secure this area for you, it would make you happy.
We wanted to keep this place safe, even if it's just a small safeguard. It's only a second-level protection, but it's something.
Velvet couldn't help it. She wrapped her arms around them again, her tears flowing freely now.
You too. This place is already a miracle. It's still standing. But if you ever need my help, I'll be there. We can do this together.
Sorry, Master. We're just scared.
What is it? What are you scared of?
Bagani's gaze darkened as he looked out the window.
There's something out there. Something strong. Even with both of us. I don't know if we can protect you if it comes.
Might be. The red dragon. The one Chris talked about. I know it. Because before I fell into the sanctuary, before I met you two, Angelo and I were being chased by it. It was the red dragon that attacked us. But Gloomy, you said you think he's still here. And I believe you. I have to believe that.
Gloomy and Bagani exchanged looks, realizing the gravity of the situation. They both silently promised to protect Velvet, no matter the cost. In Bagani's mind, he knew he had to become stronger.
I'll head back to the new sanctuary, Master.
Oh, stay here. Before we do anything, we need to take a bath. Come on, Chop Chop, let's move.
Gloomy and Bagani immediately began to bicker.
I'm sitting next to Master.
She told you not to touch her privates. I'm sitting next to her.
I'm sitting next to her.
Velvet, her patience finally worn thin, glared at them. The air around her grew tense, and the two immediately went quiet as a very irritated Velvet scolded them. Once the scolding was over, they all went to take a bath.
This is a shower bath. Both of you can use the bathtub.
The morning sun filtered through the windows, and Velvet slowly woke up, feeling more rested than she had in days. As her eyes adjusted to the light, she glanced to her side and couldn't help but laugh. Gloomy and Bagani were both sprawled out beside her, mouths wide open, mumbling about adobo. Drool dripped down their chins.
They really love it, huh? This is really our life now.
As she turned on the television to catch the latest news, the familiar crackle of her two-way radio broke the silence.
Velvet, come in. Velvet, do you hear me?
Chris's voice came through the static. Velvet grabbed the radio from the table.
Yes, good morning, Chris.
Hey, just checking in. I take it there's still electricity in your area?
Yeah, lucky for me, water and electricity are still working. I'm thinking of using this place as my headquarters for now.
For now? You planning on moving again?
Velvet's expression hardened slightly.
Yes. My goal is to return to the Philippines. I still hope my parents are alive and there's someone else I'm sure is waiting for me.
That's a long way off. But hey, it's a good goal. I'm sure you'll find a way.
I will. Even if I have to cross every inch of land between Dubai and Hong Kong, it's better than risking the ocean right now.
Yeah, no kidding. The ocean's crawling with monsters, some as big as the Titanic, from what I've heard.
I understand. Anything else?
Chris hesitated briefly.
Actually, some of my team returned, along with my commander. I was wondering if you'd want to meet them. Don't worry, we're not asking you to fight with us. I just think it'd be useful for you to know what's happening. It could help you plan your next steps.
Velvet paused for a moment, considering his offer. She knew her focus was on getting back home, but having more information and potential allies might be useful.
I trust you. I'll come meet them. When should I head out?
The sooner, the better. It's safer to travel while there's still daylight. It gets hard to navigate once the sun sets.
Alright, I'll head over now. Thanks, Chris.
Velvet signed off, setting the radio back on the table. She turned to see Gloomy and Bagani stirring from their slumber, still looking a bit groggy.
Come on, you two, we're heading back to the mall.
After a whole hour of walking, running, and jumping across rooftops using Gloomy as a grappling hook, Velvet finally reached the mall. Bagani, still keeping his presence a secret, slipped away to search for the magic stones they had talked about. Meanwhile, Gloomy, hidden inside Velvet's clothes, occasionally squirmed around, sometimes deliberately trying to embarrass her.
We're finally here, Master.
Yeah, sorry about dragging you through all that. Time to stay hidden.
No problem, Master. I can just, ow!
Gloomy yelped as Velvet gave her a light smack.
I know what you're planning. Can't you just behave and act like part of my clothes?
Velvet muttered, her cheeks flushing with embarrassment.
I do, sometimes, but I can't keep it up all the time, or they might notice me.
Velvet narrowed her eyes, knowing Gloomy was being playful again. But she couldn't help but agree. Revealing Gloomy to the others wasn't something she wanted, at least not until they were fully accepted by the community. As they approached the mall's entrance, Velvet noticed an increase in security. Soldiers stood guard with both guns and swords, and civilians nearby held weapons, too. One of the soldiers stepped forward, blocking her path.
Excuse me, ma'am. Just for verification, are you new here or part of the community?
I came yesterday with Chris Justice.
You must be Velvet. No need to register again. Welcome back. Captain Chris is in the former pag shop.
Thank you.
As they walked inside, Gloomy whispered in her ear.
Wow, they really like you here, huh? I think Chris has a crush on you.
What? How did you come to that conclusion? And shut up. You know I'm bad at hiding things.
They arrived at the shop where Chris was waiting. Velvet stepped inside, expecting a simple meeting, but when Chris saw her, it was like he was seeing a goddess walk toward him. His eyes widened, and for a moment, he was completely mesmerized.
Chris, are you there?
Trying to snap him out of it. The group around him exchanged knowing smiles. It was clear to everyone what was going on. Gloomy, watching the scene unfold, thought to herself,
Poor guy. Too bad, though. Velvet's not interested. All hail Angelo.
Hey, Chris. Is this the lady you've been talking about?
Chris blinked, finally snapping out of his trance.
Yeah. This is her.
Velvet extended her hand to the older man.
Velvet Santa Maria from the Philippines.
Pleasure to meet you, ma'am. I'm Randy Jackson, United States Armed Forces, 12th Battalion in the Middle East.
Wow, this guy knows how to talk.
Velvet stifled a chuckle at Gloomy's comment and smiled politely.
So what's the plan now?
Roar! If you reached this part of the video, thank you very much and don't forget to click the subscribe button for more videos.